Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to welcome you to UNESCO, to the 38th session of the General Conference.
The organization has changed. A long road has been traveled, and we did this together, the Secretariat and Member States. We did this guided by a clear strategy of transformation, focusing on priorities, betting on our strengths, being stable on our values. We did this by remaining indeed true to the values that inspired the founders of this organization after a devastating war 70 years ago. Today, in the face of rising violence, in the face of urgent emergencies, we must renew this spirit of audacity, because I'm deeply convinced this is the DNA of UNESCO. This is the promise I believe we must renew today during the 38th General Conference of the organization. I believe in the 70th anniversary of the organization, this is a promise of humanity united. Thank you.
And I now have the pleasure and honor to invite His Excellency Mr. Myron Walwyn, Minister of Education and Culture of the British Virgin Islands. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Mr. President of the General Assembly, Excellencies, President of the Executive Council, Director General, Honourable Ministers and Heads of Delegations, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm honoured to be here this morning to deliver this address, and I will first begin by congratulating you, Mr. President, on behalf of the government and the people of the Virgin Islands on becoming the 38th President of the General Conference. The Virgin Islands applaud Director General Madame Irina Bokova for her call on us to celebrate UNESCO in its progress in education, science, culture, and communication, as we also fully endorse UNESCO's key mission, which is to contribute to the building of peace and the alleviation of poverty. This must be central to all our work programs beyond 2015. Mr. President, permit me to also acknowledge the valuable contribution of Professor Ho Ping, President of the 37th General Conference, for his unwavering commitment to our initiatives. We also welcome our sister island of Montserrat to the UNESCO family. Mr. President, UNESCO prides itself on the mantra education for all. I am pleased to report that our government has been reinvesting and rebuilding the educational sector in this respect. We have been working assiduously to ensure that all citizens, from early years to adulthood, have the opportunities through which they can reach their full potential to be successful in life, at work, and in the community through the core message of creating a culture of excellence. The government of the Virgin Islands believes that no real economic and social development is possible, particularly in small island developing states, without a solid foundation in education. Hence, quality inclusive education at all levels continue to be central to our territory's development. Our government realizes that in order for the Virgin Islands to maintain a relevant and vibrant economy, we need to find opportunities to prepare our young people today so that they can properly take care of their homeland in uncertain tomorrow and to prepare them to be good global citizens. We fully support UNESCO's trust in education in the areas of ITCs, TVET, and teacher training and development. The need for technical and vocational professionals continue to be an area of great need for us in the Virgin Islands. This is why we have provided opportunities for our young people in this area by developing and opening our territory's first technical high school. At the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies, our secondary students have the opportunity to be fully engaged in their chosen fields of interest while earning entry-level professional certification. I have met with some of your experts, Mr. President, in this field during this conference, and will be following up to receive assistance to take our TVET program even further. We live in an era where a whiteboard is becoming a more relevant tool than a blackboard. Thus, we are in the process of remodeling all schools with a view to fully integrate ITC in the teaching and learning process. In 2014, we started a pilot program in primary schools with a view that by 2020, all students in the Virgin Islands will be learning in completely wired classrooms, and courses will be taught using technology and tools of the day. We will be calling on UNESCO to support this initiative as we utilize technology to support our students' education. This year, we implemented a major change in our education system, the addition of an extra year of schooling at the secondary level. This gives our students the time needed to master core subjects, develop their analytical and critical thinking skills, and mature as young adults. Our education system now takes students through 12 mandatory years of education, ages 5 to 17. We anticipate that this move will prepare our students for the academic challenges of tertiary education and give them the skills needed to gain and maintain employment in our economy. We see schools and classrooms with strong leadership and quality teachers as the foundation that is needed to create an exciting and engaging environment for our students to be prepared for today's world and beyond. By retraining and licensing our educational professionals to meet modern requirements of teaching in this age, we expect to see this process enriching the lives of our students and our community as we seek your assistance. Special needs education is high on the government's agenda, and we expect to make significant strides in this area. When we speak of education for all, we speak to the commitment to provide quality education for all children, youth, and adults. We continue our work on developing our educational system to concentrate on providing even more services for our differently abled students to be truly included in our community, both academically and socially. We look at UNESCO for expertise to help us to improve in this area so that we can offer our most vulnerable society members the best opportunities for advancement. Mr. President, the government of the Virgin Islands believes that UNESCO is strategically well positioned to assist our sub-region in amplifying intercultural dialogue on the legacy of enslavement and its associated impact on cultural heritage. People without an understanding of how they come into being will be forced to imagine and create a history for themselves, and we cannot afford that. Given the rich history of the Virgin Islands, we have implemented initiatives such as the teaching of Virgin Islands history at all levels and introduced a mandatory national citizen program to build and promote the Virgin Islands culture and pride, which we anticipate will have a positive impact propagating the values and achievements that help to shape our community. However, much more is needed in the preservation of our historical sites, sites that are of global significance, and we seek UNESCO's continued help to move sites such as the St. Philip's Church of the Africans and the Nottingham Free Slave Estate to the memory of the world and world heritage. Madam Director General, this year UNESCO celebrates its 70th anniversary. On behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands, I would like to congratulate you on being at the helm of the marking of this significant milestone. We further renew the Virgin Islands' commitment and support for UNESCO to advance the progress of our community and of nations and people with a rekindling of hope and vision as we look to the future. Thank you, Mr. President.